Good evening, Crimson Tide Nation, and welcome to the SEC title post-game live show from Alabama with the Voice of College Football from yours truly, Jackson Johnston, my partner in crime, Trevion Ware, as we will go over our takeaways from the post-game show and the inevitable question, is Alabama still in the playoffs? Well, we're going to deep dive into it all right here on Alabama with the Voice of College Football. Let me tell you, it's going to be for a wild ride. It's a sad ride for all of us, but man, how you doing tonight, good buddy?
Man, not doing all right after that game, but I want to congratulate everybody because me, you, and everybody watching this had more rushing yards than the Alabama football running backs tonight. So I want to congratulate everybody on that. But with that being said, that just shows how future the performance was tonight. But overall, I'm not doing all right. But we're gonna get right into it now. So it is what it
Oh,
is.
there we go, man. But just to kind of make it better, just kind of like heal this pain away. We got some merch on Alabama with the Voice College Football. We've got it all. We've got the dad hats, we've got the trucker hats, the t-shirts, the sweatshirt, the polo shirt, the can cooler, the tumbler, cup, and the game day mug. We've got it all. We've got it all right here on Alabama with the Voice College Football. Oh man. But we've got our friend Ben having some fun about Bama and Oregon. Yeah, you just wait till Bama plays Oregon, good buddy. Just wait till we go against those Donald Ducks at some point before this decade ends. Oh man. And a roll tide forever from our guy, Godfather of the SEC. And
Yeah,
Yell
roll
City
tide.
and Yell 60H is saying if I'm the decider, I wouldn't let a team with -3 rush yards continue to drink. It is embarrassing. Well, we're gonna go over that after we
That
go
is
over the
true. Yeah.
but you know what? Let's rip the band-aid out now on this topic. Because I mean, are we in? That's the question. Man. Because it's like, honestly, if BYU won the Big 12 title, then we would really have a problem. But because Texas Tech won the Big 12 title, I think we're comfortably in the playoff field. I'm thinking we're like a 10 or 11. Not really sure.
Yeah, honestly, I can't say because even with BYU not winning, you still have teams that's sitting on the outside, like a Miami, like a Notre Dame, that were all in the same cluster. That's the term that the committee has used over the past weeks in the same cluster. And Miami now they have two great points that they can use to their advantage, and those two great points are that Alabama now has a third loss, right? Uh, and with Alabama having the third loss, they fall down because Miami has a common opponent that Alabama played and they played. And that common opponent is Florida State. Miami beat Florida State. Alabama obviously did not beat Florida State. And then Miami has a head-to-head win over Notre Dame. So that's a team that was sitting on the couch tonight that needed a lot of help. That got that help through the loss of Alabama. That now that they could you know honestly work in Alabama's working out it won't work in their favor. So you say they're comfortably in. I honestly think they don't control their own destiny. Any honest Alabama fan should whatever the committee does tomorrow, they can't be mad because the team with three rushing yards. I forget what fan said that. What viewer said that, but the team
Yale
with three rushing.
CCH.
Yeah, as Gail 68 said, a team with three rushing yards they should have nothing to say about in terms of hey we should be this and that. You can't run the football. That's a complementary part of football. Every team needs that. A championship team needs that. You don't have to have the best running game in the world, but You have to have some type of running game, and they had -3 yards tonight. And you think about Alabama football and all the history that they have had in their history, all the great running backs that have come through this school. And tonight, I'm not knocking, I'm not bringing a knock to Daniel Hill or AK Deer because they had not having the services of Josh Quavis obviously played a big part in that because he's a big part in pass protection and in running running run blocking and things of that nature. And they didn't have Jan Miller, but still the same. -3 rushing yards. Me and you had more rushing yards than them today. That is crazy. That's what I'm saying. Like literally, like that's crazy. So Alabama in terms of playoffs, and whatever the committee does tomorrow, I like every Alabama fan, I want them in. Of course, they worked hard this year. This defense, I mean, the defense did what they had to do still today to me because the defense was still put on short fields today, and they still, I mean, the defense can only do so much. The offense is still turning over the football. Then you see special teams is a disaster. So I mean, but whatever the committee does tomorrow, that's on them. I mean, I can't be upset. I don't think any true Alabama fan that knows football can be upset because the football that we saw today on the offensive side of the ball is not postseason football. So I don't think anybody can be upset from an Alabama standpoint if something were funky were to happen with Alabama. But I'm hoping that they get the benefit of the doubt. But we've never seen a three loss team make the college football playoffs. So Alabama is up against odds right now. I'm gonna get into those odds later, but I'm gonna let you jump back into it, Jackson. But it's looking scarce to me. But yeah,
Well, well, we've beaten the odds before, like throughout our whole history, but at the same time, like we've not seen an SEC title runner up get left out in the 12-team playoff. And are we going to be seeing that tomorrow at 11 a.m. Central? That's going to be the question throughout the final rankings. Are they going to send a message, or are we good either way? Because that's going to be the final question there. Like that's something we're going to be looking at. But
you,
realistically, if we do get into playoffs, I'm just really hoping we're not going against Oklahoma, honestly. Because like they're basically our kryptonite, but then again, you know, I talked about how Georgia, how we're their kryptonite, but they tend to do really well in revenge games, and who knows? Like it all depends on who we're going against. But do I think we're a natty team for 2025? No. I'm thinking more like 2026, 2027. Like I think we could shoot the moon for those years.
I mean, yeah, you said a lot, but in terms of like going against Oklahoma, Alabama is most likely going to be placed probably in terms of like seeding. They're probably going to be like the 12th team. They're probably going to be either the last one in or the first one out. I mean, because they don't control their own destiny anymore, and they lost by 3 scores today, and that's just a bad way to lose. And what you saying last year, the college football playoff has only been it's only been the 12 team field for 2 years now, and now last year with Texas they lost, but they weren't on their third loss. Alabama is
Yeah.
on their third loss, and I think that holds a lot of weight. I mean, with like I said, Miami got a strong case to me, in my opinion. I'm not no Canes fan, I'm not no Canes advocate or nothing like that, but they got a strong case because, like I said, they beat Notre Dame, and that's a team who Alabama was who we finally moved ahead of them this week. They beat Notre Dame, and then they got the common opponent in Alabama. The common opponent, like I said, is FSU. They beat FSU. Alabama did not
Yeah.
beat FSU, and now they're like I said, that third loss. Nobody in the field has a third loss but them. So it's just like, and
No.
they have the worst third loss, and now they conference championship and losing by 3 scores and stuff like that. They said they wouldn't punish a team for losing their conference championship game, but it's how you lose it. That's how the committee is going to look at it. You rush for 3 yards, -3 yards. That is terrible. Like they do all these hypotheticals with the Big Ten and stuff, and they say how the SEC will roll over the Big Ten. I'm not no SEC homer, and I'm not no Big Ten guy, but Ohio State will go out there and they wouldn't have no -3 yards, so that's just terrible what we saw tonight. But it's a lot that played into that. We're gonna get into that later, but yeah.
Oh, for sure. And I can't but wonder if our playoff position hinges on Duke, Virginia for the ACC title game. Like it's like I'm just kind of like wondering if it does in a way, because I mean, like it wouldn't have years ago, but right now with the 12 team, and if Virginia wins, wow. But like Duke's winning, there's going to be a lot of questions throughout these next 12 hours after this.
Yeah, but with Virginia, if Virginia won, that wouldn't be an upset because Duke is 84. But if Duke won, the ACC they were at first looking at not having any teams in their finale. With them losing, they might be able to squeeze two teams in there because Virginia will be 11-2, and then Miami, like I said, I just broke down the case sheet with Miami having a better compelling argument than Bama, so they might be able to get two teams in there. That's why I'm kind of skeptical with how I view Alabama's playoff seeding, but Alabama has a strong resume, still the same. I mean, but this loss just hurts. I mean, it's not losing; it's just the way that they lose. And I think the committee gonna look at that. You lose by 3 scores, and then it's like I said, offense did nothing all day. I mean, Josh Simpson, I don't know what exactly is the problem with him, but he hasn't been the same guy since they played Missouri. So it's just like he's looking bad. So and they had their chances too. I mean, Ryan Williams. I mean, he had a lot of their offense today, but he still had those critical drops that really hurts the offense. And you can't really the Winds were covering it up earlier in the year, but now they've lost 2 games because of it. They lost the Oklahoma game and they lost this game because of it. So it's just like you go into the postseason, it's no margin for error. So in terms of them being like a championship team, they don't have the offense to take them there. Unfortunately,
No.
I never thought that would be the case. I thought it was going to be a defensive issue, but it's the offense. They don't have the offense to sustain a 3 to 4 game run to take them to a championship. So honestly, if they do get in the playoffs, I think they're gonna be like a 12 seed. I just don't know who they that 12 seed play like the what the who does the 12 who would the 12 seed play again?
The 12 seed would be playing the 5 seed, obviously, but
Yeah,
the
and the
5
5 seed
seed,
that's Texas Tech, but the Texas Tech probably gonna move up. I mean, Georgia gonna get the bye. They're the SEC champs, so they're gonna get the bye. And Texas Tech will probably be a 5 seed or the 3 seed. I'm not sure,
yeah, I
but
think
as long as
Yeah, Tet was number 4 going into today, but now they're
yeah they
like,
won.
uh-huh. They're gonna be number 3 regardless, but, um
As long as Indiana don't get blew out, how Bama got blew out tonight, it shouldn't really be too much movement in the top 4. But in terms of who Bama will play, if they do get into the 11 seed, because the group of five gonna be the 12 seed. So, and I'm gonna get into that later. James Madison ain't even all that either. I looked at them last night, but if Alabama did, but if Alabama, I ain't gonna hate on them though. I ain't gonna hate on James Madison. They won their conference championship game. Alabama didn't. So Alabama don't have that luxury to really talk about where they should be seated, like I said earlier. But like I said, it'll just be interesting to see how they play it out tomorrow because Alabama will probably be the 11th seed. They'll probably be playing the 6 to the 5 seed. So it'll be interesting to see who those are.
Oh, B Jammin says they believes a Duke win helps Alabama, but after watching Bama's lack of effort, play calling, lack of heart, probably just be one and out in the playoffs. Roll Tide roll.
That's the
Yeah,
truth though.
yeah. I mean, we look
Because
like a one and out team if we do get into playoffs,
and
honestly.
and honestly, I was just disappointed with not seeing Ryan Grubb's adjustments. I thought he was going to get in his bag, and really get creative after seeing the running game not doing much. But it looked like they were scared. They were playing conservative, and I don't know if that's because Ty Simpson got an injury going on behind the scenes. I don't know if that's because they just not confident in their pass game. But I thought Ryan Grubb was going to be more creative and really dig up stuff to really attack Georgia. But you saw we just dived into the numbers. They went I think they went 2 for 11 on third down throughout the entire game. And and like I said, 2 turnovers. Georgia really ain't even do nothing on offense. Because Georgia Alabama gave them, like I said, the block punt. That's a short field.
Oh man.
The interception, that was another short field. And then I think, was it a fumble? It was another turnover. I forgot what it was.
Oh yeah, we had a lot of them today, but beforehand, before we get into the post game takeaways, we got a message from the man himself, Mark Rogers, giving us some bets for the world of college football. Roll it, Pilgrim.
College football is even more exciting when you've got some action on the line, and the games are even better when you're cashing in. And the voice of college football is the place to be to get the greatest value. Start with my picks. 75% against the money line, 58% against the spread, and I've got a 40-plus year track record. 11-0 in the college football playoff for me last year against the money line, 8-3 against the spread. And I'm just the warm-up act. Steve Merrill of Wager Talk is our ace in the hole, show stopper. 7 years with the voice of college football, over 30 years in the industry. Steve gives us analysis on all the big games, but you can't miss Steve's weekly under-the-radar pick. 28-12 against the spread the last 3 years. You also get picks from some of our top analysts here at the Voice of College Football, including Corey Bratta, Matt Zemek, and Steve Dace. Check out those numbers. Become a YouTube or Patreon member for just $99 per month. Go to the main channel on YouTube, click join, and then select the betting tier. Do the same thing on Patreon. Make 2025 a winner now.
There you go. That's the message from Mark Rogers, giving us his takes in the world of college football. From Corey Bratta, Matt Zemek, and Steve Dace, and Steve Merrill, giving out those under-the-radar picks of the week. Well, got another Band-Aid to rip off. The ball game itself. Man. You were talking about yourself, like the special teams, like it was disastrous. Like you talked about that block punt, it was like, oh my God, like that's where I should have known where things were going to go bad from there. But
Yeah, because it was just uncharacteristic fundamental errors that you don't see normal Alabama football teams coach make. And they were making those errors often on offense, whiffing on blocks, letting Georgia slip through the cracks and, get pressure on Ty Simpson time and time again. And then you saw that happen on the special teams and stuff like that. And uh, shout out to Connor Talton, because Connor Talton, he ain't do nothing wrong today. So, I thought it was going to be something like that. You would have told me pre-game that it was going to be a special teams issue, but it wasn't even that. It was just small execution stuff up front. Georgia just being a more physical team, because offensively they didn't do nothing much, because Alabama, like I said, they gave them 3 short fields and they scored each time. Each turnover calculated to a touchdown, whatever it was. So, and you look at just the end numbers and stuff like that. Gunner Stockton only threw the ball 27 times. He didn't throw the ball like that. So it's just like it was really just fundamental stuff that why they lost the game. Time of possession. They lost the turnover battle. They lost the fact that uh and the fact that Alabama didn't even really have penalties called on them. I saw a lot of people calling them out about that. They said Alabama had 2 penalties for like maybe 20 some 30 some yards, and Georgia had like 8 penalties. And you would look at that, and you would think Alabama would just be born, just be executing how they normally execute against Georgia. And the fact that they couldn't do that, it was just real disappointing. So, and like I said, it's just really just been offensive stuff that's just been matched by wins. They've been winning, so everybody not been calling them out about it. But now, like I said, they lost the Oklahoma game, and now people want to make a fuss about it. But this has been really been going on since the Mizzou game. they really been not been able to put together a full game offensively since the Mizzou game, and it's really like not even since the Mizzou game, since the second half of the Georgia game, they scored no points in the second half of the Georgia game, and that really was a telling factor. And I was calling that out all season, and tonight we saw it, and it just blew up in their face. So that's really what that's that's really is that's really paints a picture of a lot what went on tonight, really for me.
Yeah, and there's like another stat I was looking at as well. Like we were a failure on third down tonight. 3 of 14 completed third downs. That's bad.
Yeah, versus the first game, like I said, the first game they was they were 12 for 19 on third down. Today, like you said, 3 or 14. So it was just day and night on third down, and it was just small stuff. Ty Simpson underthrowing the ball, the offensive line not blocking up front and stuff like that. And then just when the ball does get to the playmakers, they dropping the ball and stuff like that. So the offense they don't execute on the small things, and that's why they are not electric like we're accustomed to seeing them be. So it's just a bad. It's sad to see, but I already knew it was coming because, like I said, I've been seeing this since the Georgia game, not scoring in the second half, and then it just kept going. The Mizzou game, not scoring in the second half, and a lot of this has been covered up by wins. But now that they're losing, you see that, like I said, they lost the Oklahoma game because of this offense turning over the ball, and then when don't turn over the ball, they just don't do nothing with it. And tonight, the same thing happened.
Oh, agreed, agreed. And you make an excellent point about how like we've just been like kind of losing our spark since that victory over Georgia throughout that last week of September. And it was funny though, like Godfather and I were talking about this like on the phone before the game ended. Where he was talking about that exact same thing you were talking about, Travion, and that was like you know as they
Because
say,
it's
great
happened.
minds think alike.
Yeah, because it's happened back to back years. You saw last year with Georgia. They got the win over Georgia, and the offense kind of just fell off after last year. And then this year, we saw that even though that they got the back-to-back 4 wins against 4 ranked teams, but the offense wasn't the reason for that. Defense has played a strong role in where they are today. And even though that they didn't win today, the defense still played a decent ball game. It was the offense. The offense has been the reason why that they're losing. The offense has been the Achilles heel, and now we see that. So I'm like, is that? I mean, Kellen DeBoer, he's been a good coach and everything. He said the right things. He's won the big games. Even though he didn't win today, he's won the big games. But I think that's just an indictment on his team, the way his teams are coached. Why are his teams falling off offensively in the second half? I mean, his only year two, he hasn't really been. I mean, he's still trying to ingratiate his style of offense from Washington to Alabama, but I'm just trying to see what's going on with Ryan Grubb. Because, like I said, I was really disappointed with him not being more creative in the second half in the pass game and getting more people open and being more aggressive. And because how many times did Todd Simpson throw the ball? I gotta look at the stat sheet. I forgot how many times he threw the ball because I mean, with the running game not working, you would think they would be prone to take more shots. I mean, but you got to have a run game to set up those deep shots. So I mean, I guess I answered my own question on that. But still the same. I was just disappointed overall to see why they played out the way it did.
Oh man, we threw the ball 39 times tonight,
Oh
but
man.
yeah, it was not good. Not good.
Yeah, like I said, they couldn't sustain anything on third down. That's why Georgia was able to win the time of possession. And you spot them 3 turnovers, get them 21 points on them short fields, and that's really what it was. I wonder what Kellen DeVore said after the game. I wasn't able to see what he was saying after the game,
Oh
but
man.
it's a lot because now you got a lot of talking heads, and as other fan bases should be. A lot of fan bases got the right to talk about. Well, I've been seeing a lot of people saying, "Well, Alabama don't deserve to be in the playoff." I mean, I got no argument for that right now because the way they played tonight, like I said, I got no argument. Whatever the committee decides to do tomorrow, it's just like it is what it is.
Well, I'm looking at like the quotes from DeBoer on Sports Illustrated for Joe Gather, where he's talking about how where Ty Simpson's confidence, where there's like a lot of injuries that Alabama was going through, and it starts with continuality in practice, and how you got a lack of execution in games because you didn't have everybody out together in practice. And that was one of the things he talked about in the press conference after this game. And where he talked a little bit about how we're the best offense in the country, where well, Simpson says he knows we're the best, but we did not play like it today, unfortunately. Like, I love you, Ty, but that was not the best offense in the country.
Yeah, and I think that was just a lot of he dressing it up because they haven't played like the best offense in the country since probably. Man, they haven't even really been the best offense in the country this season. I mean, they've had a lot of times where they've had sparks where they played good stretches of football, but I mean, they can't be the best offense in the country when they haven't been able to put a full game together on offense, and that's due to the run game being as porous as it is. So, I mean, Todd Simpson, it's good that he still believes in these guys. He always gonna say the right thing. We know this, but now it's just like with him. I've been seeing a lot of fans say they don't know if they want Todd Simpson to come back. They saying the same thing they were saying with Jalen Milrow last year, and that's kind of funny to me. He said missing his clutch tight end. He said B Jamming saying Todd's missing his clutch tight end, and it's showing. Yeah, it
Right.
is showing because we missed Josh Cuevas today. Josh Cuevas definitely would have exploited some of those holes today, but Caleb Edwards was able to catch the ball over the middle and make some things happen. Marshall Pritchard was able to make some things happen overall, but definitely miss Josh Cuevas not being there. But the offense as a whole, we got a lot of nice pieces, but it's just the fact that they're not just able to put things together. And I don't know why that is. I don't know if that's a personnel issue. I don't know if that's I don't know if that's a philosophy issue or schematics or something like that. But this offense hasn't been able to put a full game together the whole season. So Todd Simpson saying that the best offense, I haven't seen it, but it is what it is. But it's just interesting to see what Kellen DeBoer also said about the team not being able to. He basically was saying the team not being able to have their flow together, have their rhythm together overall because all the injuries missing. I mean, what at this point, what contending team isn't having injuries? I mean, the defense has had injuries because they didn't have LT Overton today. They didn't have the they who else did they miss on the defense line? They didn't have LT Overton. And it was somebody else.
Well, we lost Justin Jefferson to injury.
Yeah,
Uh,
but
Kirkpatrick, we're obviously missing him.
yeah,
Uh,
but
let's see.
yeah, but still the same. My point is this: every football team has got some type of injury going on. So I don't even think it's that. It's the fact that the offense can't put together full ball games together. So
No.
they don't
Yeah,
have a
it,
postseason offense at all. I mean, it's just not the rushing attack is just not there. Nobody's going to respect him. So that's why the passing game isn't what it is. I mean, and when we do get that, our receivers just aren't consistent enough to catch the ball. I mean, Jeremy Bernard has been consistent, but Brian Williams, I mean, we saw he had some critical drops today. He dropped a touchdown. I mean, we tried to come back, and that he would have caught that. I think that would have cut into the lead more if Jeremy Bernard and him Small stood the same.
man, like today has just been a mess. And I won't lie, for a moment, I thought we were going to make a comeback when Jeremy Bernard scored the only touchdown. I was like, nah, we're going to make a comeback because Jeremy Bernard scored touchdown. But then it's like, nope.
Because like, look, they was down 14 with 9 minutes left, and they got down there and drove again. And it's like I said, the Ty Simpson just misfiring on some passes and some critical drops we saw, and then like the offense just not blocking up front, and that had a lot to do with it. Now you look at what Alabama has lost, not winning the SEC title game today. They're looking at they could potentially miss the college football playoffs versus they could have had a first round bye or they would have hosted a home playoff game. So now that they lost, it's just like they might not even be in it at all. I mean, it'll be interesting to see what the committee does tomorrow because, like I said, for those that just joined us, Miami has a decent case versus Alabama because they got the head-to-head beat Notre Dame, who is also trying to who Alabama jumped this week, and they also got a case versus Alabama, but Miami beat Notre Dame, and then after beating Notre Dame, they beat Florida State, and Alabama lost to Florida State. And that'd be a common opponent that the committee could use as a data point. So unfortunately, Alabama is not in the best of position of what they could have been. I mean, they still could make the playoffs, but I don't. A three-loss team has never made it, so I don't know how. I don't know how it'll happen, but first time for everything. But I don't know if it'll be the first time, but we'll see.
And I'm looking at whether we go to the Citrus Bowl or if we're gonna go to
Oh
the
boy,
go back to the ReliaQuest Bowl, like
please
because
no.
if we don't make the playoffs,
Man, that'll just be no playoffs back to back years for Kalen DeBoer, man. That'll just be I mean, you made the SEC championship game. Congratulations. The defense has been a staple of this football team. Congratulations. But like I said, the offense back to back years has fallen off in the second half of the season. And it's the reason why they didn't make the playoffs last year. It's the reason why they might not make the playoffs this year. It's the reason why they are not SEC champions tonight. The offense. And back to back years, I mean, the run game wasn't as poor as it is this year, but the run game wasn't nothing last year, but now it's definitely non existent this year. So it's just like, I mean,
man.
so if Alabama was to miss the playoffs back to back years, man, I don't know what that seat would be so hot for Kellen DeBoer. All the right that he's done this year, all the right that Kane Warmack has done this year, all the right that this Alabama staff in general have done this year, man, it would just be thrown away because it's playoffs or bust for Alabama, and if they don't make the playoffs again, Kevin Ford that seat would just be so uncomfortable. Just it's gonna be a long off season for sure. It don't matter if they do get a ball game. They got a ball game last year. Alabama fans didn't care about that. I mean, obviously they wanted to beat Michigan for bragging rights, but they obviously want to be in the college football playoffs. So
I,
winning 10 games and the fact that going to the SEC championship and being blown out and missing the playoffs that would just be a hard pill to swallow just for everybody in Tuscaloosa, the Alabama coaching staff, the players, and it would just be interesting to see who would hit the portal and stuff like that. But like that's crazy to me. But it's a lot to unravel when you lose because if they would have won, we would have been talking about playoffs. We would have been celebrating. We would have been seeing if they're gonna do a first round bye or they was gonna get a home playoff game. Now the whole thing flipped upside down. It's crazy.
oh, like good grief! It's like man, it's like we're gonna be sweating it out these final hours. We are sweating it out. It's like, but man, and it at least we saw like one or two big play, well, couple big plays from like Ryan Williams, but I mean it was like unfortunately that was not enough. Like,
Yeah, he was able to get loose on Georgia a little bit. They tried to some jet sweeps with him. They was able to get the ball out to him in space a little bit. He was able to make a couple of people miss, but the drops, the drops. Like I said, I think he got 9 drops on the season now. It's 9, but 9 I feel like it's way more because he's been dropping that ball every week to me, man. It's just and
mm,
man, that sophomore slump is crazy, man. I mean, I'm still on his side. I still rock with Ryan Williams, but man, it's crazy to see the drop off because last year, man, what we saw last year and this year, it's just not the same guy. And everybody has pointed it out week after week, and the noise got louder and louder. I mean, he's not the reason why Alabama lost today. I'm not harping on him at all, but I mean, he's not the reason why the offense could open up either. But I mean, that's a beneficial. I mean, that's a downfall to the run game being is what it is. So like I said, I'm disappointed in just Ryan Grubb, just lack of creativity. Thought he
Do
was
you
gonna be
think
able to do
like
more.
do you think Ryan Grubb is like and I'm not saying he is or isn't, but do you think he's somewhat distracted by the possibility of being a candidate for the Washington State job because of the fact that there's an opening at head coach for Washington State or no?
No, I don't think that at all. 'Cause, like he just got to Alabama this year. He literally got to Alabama in January. And yeah, he literally got to Alabama in January after the Seahawks let him go. So I don't think he in a rush to go back to Washington again. So and then like on top of that, the offense has been what it's been. The offense has been stale for weeks. The offense has been stale for over 8 games. So I think that's just a benefit. I mean, I keep saying beneficial. I think that's just a domino effect of what we've seen for weeks. And like I said, for some reason, Kellen DeBoer coach teams have fallen off in the second half. Offensively, they've fallen off in the second half, back-to-back years. I don't know why that is. I don't know, but like I said, I don't think Ryan Grubb is distracted by that. I just think it's just an offensive thing. I don't know if it's a personnel issue. I don't know. I don't know if it's an injury issue at the wrong time. It's probably all the things I'm talking about
All of the above.
combined into one. Yeah, yeah.
That's what I'm feeling like it is. It's all of the above, honestly. But I don't know. Like, if we did if we did tomorrow find out that we're going to the playoffs, we're that last team in, and just like looking at these final rankings, just looking at them all, because we're seeing that Ole Miss is still 6, right? And we're going to see Texas A&M at 7. I mean, BYU is obviously out. So as of right now, well, as of this taping, Indiana's up 2-0. I mean, like, it feels like Indiana and Ohio State are going to get first
You
round
said
byes.
you said 2-0.
Three
What they get
nothing.
Oh, okay, okay. I'm about to say what they get a safety. Okay, it's a field goal. Yeah, Indiana and Ohio State are first round buys for sure. Georgia is a lock for sure. Texas A&M a lock. Oklahoma a lock. Oregon a lock. Um, Ole Miss a lock. Who else?
Yeah, Texas A&M is a lock. Oklahoma is a lock. So, I mean, Georgia's getting that first round bye, obviously. They're going to be number 2. And Texas Tech, I think, is 3.
Yeah,
So, I don't think Oregon's getting that first round bye. That's just not happening.
yeah. But what I'm saying is, Alabama came in at number 9. They lost by 21 points.
Hmm.
How does the committee view that loss? How far would you drop them? You dropped them to number 10.
11.
Notre Dame, and you dropped them to number 10. Notre Dame was right behind them. Do you slide
Mm.
Notre Dame up? You dropped them to 11. BYU was 11, so they might could get 11, but it's 12 spots. You got to honor the group of 5 team. That's where it's so important what happens between what Duke and Virginia, because James Madison won. James Madison is
Oh, man.
they what James Madison is 11-1 on the season. So
Oh, yeah. Well, in Tulane, with
yeah,
them
yeah, yeah, yeah,
winning.
yeah, yeah. In Tulane. So Tulane is gonna get the last spot more than likely. Honestly, Tulane
Oh,
gonna get the
man.
last spot.
Check
They
this
they
out.
cause they the stronger group of 5 than James Madison. They gonna get the last spot. So Alabama is either gonna be at 11 with Miami, like I said, it's gonna be a Miami versus
Um,
Alabama issue, or it's or it's gonna be Notre Dame. I don't know, but
here's
it's 11 or
something.
nothing.
Here's something I just thought about. So Duke wins the ACC tonight. They're 8-5, right? Guess who beat Duke on September 13th?
So
Tulane. 34-27.
Yeah, that's why Duke gonna get the. Tulane gonna get the. They gonna get they gonna get that spot because, like I said, they won their conference and then they beat the conference champs
Oh,
of the ACC and they have a better record. Tulane is 11-1. Duke would be 8-5. Not 9-4. So I mean, 8-5. So it's just like Tulane gonna get that spot. So it just is what that is. So Alabama is looking at the number 11 spot because Notre Dame.
man.
Unfortunately, I looked at the odds earlier. Alabama was minus 350 to make the playoffs. Notre Dame was minus 1200, and Miami was plus 160. And these odds are according to FanDuel. Okay, B. Jamin says Duke win very well could leave ACC out of the playoffs. No, I don't think that. I don't think because ACC is a Power Four conference. And Miami, like I said, that's why I brought up the Miami argument. Miami has the better it has the has two important data points. Like I said, Miami the two important data points Miami got. They beat FSU. Alabama did not beat FSU, and then Alabama beat Notre Dame. So that's why they could say that they have a better resume than all of them. They all have 10 wins. Alabama having that third loss drops them below both of them, and then Notre Dame lost to Miami, and then Miami beat Florida State. I just explained it to you, so that is why I don't see the ACC getting left out. Alabama did it to
Yeah.
themselves, so they're gonna be 11, or they either gonna be 11 or they're gonna be out, flat out.
You know
That's how
what
I look
this
at it.
reminds me of, Trevion? With the conference
Yeah.
champion getting left out, but then like the at-large team for that same conference getting in the playoffs reminds me of
What?
2016 with Ohio State, Penn State.
Hmm. Yeah, but at the same time, I mean, Duke had to know that they wasn't really gonna be in the playoff because you're 8-5. Teams that Texas 10-2. I mean Texas 9-3. Vandy 10-2. Miami 10-2. Notre Dame 10-2. Literally, all those teams deserve because they have better resumes and records and everything. So Duke Duke really just playing for a good ball game. They'll get a good ball game if they win, but I think Virginia gonna win. So if Virginia wins, they'll be 11-2. So Virginia might get that spot. It's either gonna be Virginia or Miami or Alabama. It's gonna come down to something like that. That's really what I think it is. The 11th spot because Tulane gonna get that 12th spot, like I said. So in Notre Dame, I don't know why they ain't even in the conference, but they got the benefit of sitting at home. But Alabama don't get that benefit of calling it out because they lost by 21 tonight, which is unfortunate. So it'll be interesting where the committee puts them, but I think it's going to be somewhere in that 11 range, 11 range because Tulane the 12th spot, and it's going to be Virginia or Miami or Alabama for 11, and Notre Dame go slide up to 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 9. Yeah, wait, who
Oh
would
man.
be at 10? I'm slow. Who would be at 10?
Oh my god. Oh man.
Because all I did was swap Alabama out, and because Alabama was 9, Notre
Well,
Dame was like 10.
BYU's out. Uh, let's see. Oh my god. Oh my god. Ohio State, Indiana, Georgia, Texas Tech are your top four. Then there's Oregon, Ole Miss, Texas A&M, Oklahoma. So that's four. It's
I'm
basically
thinking harder.
Alabama, Notre Dame, Miami, and Tulane. I'm
Yeah.
wondering if Texas is going to have that say because it's like they beat. I mean, yeah, because it's like, oh no,
Okay,
well,
but we got a better argument than them because I mean, we lost. We both lost to Georgia most recently. We both lost to Georgia most recently, but we got 10 wins. You have 9 wins. We lost in the conference championship. You lost at their crib. At least we won at their crib. And if it's to my memory, okay, Alabama lost by 21 tonight. Texas lost by 30 something. So they out of there. Texas out of there.
oh, you're out,
They out
Ted.
of there.
You're
No, they
out.
added it. They added it. I'm trying to see
Well, Alabama and Texas both have the head-to-head
that,
over
that,
Vandy. So, like, we're
yeah,
good.
that's what hurts me about Vandy because Vandy, for annoying as Diego Pavia is, that's still a good team that Coach Clark Lee's coached over there, and they got 10 wins for the first time in their program history. Shout out to them. But those two losses, like I said, they lost to Texas, they lost to Bama, and they just got they just got the rough end of the shoe, unfortunately, because they could be a playoff team, but like I said, Texas they got Texas over them and they got Bama over them. And it's only so many spots. So.
Oh man. Well, I hope you're right, Q, on it. I really hope you're right that we do make it, but at the same time, I'm just like, oh well, it is what it is.
Nah, I feel you. He said cash rules everything. I'm telling you, LOL, Bama bringing in the views. Hell yeah, because yeah, we
We all
saw that this year. Alabama was the most viewed
we
team in
live
college
rent free
football.
in everybody's heads.
I mean, regardless if you watching the hate or you watching because you like ball or you watching because you a Bama fan, everybody tuned in. Everybody was tuned in today. So I mean, cash does rule everything. Vegas does control a lot of things, in my opinion, and a lot of people do want to see Alabama in the playoffs, despite losing today. So we could still see that. I mean, I was looking at the odds earlier, like I said. Alabama is minus 350 on FanDuel to still make the college football playoffs. I mean, that from what I last seen, that was around before we got on here and did the show. So I mean, they can still make it, but it depends on what happens tonight and stuff like that. But Miami, man, Miami got that serious argument to me. Serious argument.
Oh, for sure, man. That is for sure. Well, before we sign off here for the night, we're going to tell you about some stuff that we've got here on Alabama at the Voice College Football. The membership tier of Alabama at the Voice College Football is all right there. We've got it all. We've got it all right here. For $2.99 a month, you can become a Crimson Faithful member where you'll have loyalty badges next to your name in the comments in the live chat, custom emojis to use in comments in the live chat like the Bama logo, the Alabama elephant logo, the number one foam finger, and the Saban hat. Like our good buddy, the Godfather of the SEC. He's got it all right there. And for $4.99 a month, you can become a Saban Disciple where you'll have priority replies to comments and access to a monthly hangout. From yours truly, Jackson Johnson, Jeffrey Only Talk Sports, and Trevion Ware. And for $9.99 a month, you can become a Bear Bryant legend where you can connect on social media with each of us and give out content requests of any kind. And neither rain nor sleet nor snow nor the weird Alabama weather will put stops us from fulfilling your content requests. All right here on Alabama Voice College Football. Travion, what have you got going on this week for the rest of this weekend, good buddy?
I mean, obviously, looking at these college football playoffs and seeing what the committee does. Like I said, I have no argument to argue Alabama in the college football playoffs, but I'm gonna be looking at the reaction and see how everything play out. Because it'll be interesting to see how the 12 team does shake out. I mean, by this time tomorrow, everybody in Tuscaloosa will either be sad or happy. The haters will either be clapping or they'll be keeping their memes and their drafts and stuff. But it'll just be interesting to see. So that's basically my weekend. That and looking at some NFL football and stuff. You can catch me on my X T-Word1K on X. That is T-Word1K on X. I talk a lot of ball, whether it's college football, NFL football, even NBA. Do a lot of betting tips and stuff like that. Just talk a lot of real talk. So yeah, just tap in on my Twitter there on T-Word1K. But that's really all I got going on.
There you go, man. Tell your friends, your family, and the cashiers at Publix about the magic that Travion has all right there on T-Word1K. And of course, you can check me out tomorrow morning on SEC at the Voice of College Football, going over the instant reaction of which SEC teams will make the field for the CFP playoffs tomorrow morning in the final rankings of the 2025 CFP playoffs. We're going to find out who gets in, who's out. We're going to find out. Crossing our fingers for Bama to get in, but if they're in, they're in. If they're not, then it looks like we're not. But, we're going to wait and see. We're going to know more tomorrow morning, Sunday, right there on SEC at the Voice College Football. Thank goodness BYU did not win today. I'm glad they didn't, because then Bama will be on the outside looking in. And you can check me out on SEC at the Voice College Football after Crimson Tide Live, 6 p.m. Central, is Monday, SEC Live, 7:30 p.m. Central. I will be joined by Jake Crane of Crane & Company, discussing the takeaways on the CFP playoffs from an SEC perspective, each of the bowl games, and much, much more. And, we're also going to we've got Magic on SEC at the Voice College Football. We've got Magic right here on Alabama at the Voice College Football. Travion, Jeffrey, and I will bring it all right here. We're either going to be happy, we're going to be sad, we're probably going to be having no feelings at all. Who knows? Who knows what Monday's going to bring, but we're going to bring it to you all right here. And as they say, the show must go on. And you can check me out on Jackson Johnson 979, where I've got numerous episodes of the Jacksonian coming up all right there. And for more updates, what I've got going on the Jacksonian, Alabama at the Voice College Football, SEC at the Voice College Football, once, twice week appearances on Locked On West Virginia for Jackson's World College Football with Mountaineer Paul, and once, twice week calls on the Fine Bomb Show. Check me on Jackson VOCFB on @/Twitter and on Instagram and Threads at Jackson Johnson 543-908. And Jeffrey, once again, not feeling well tonight. He had fever. He was a 3 or 4 tonight. I asked him what the scale was, 1 being the best, the 10 being the worst. He was 3 or 4, but just want to make sure he's doing all right. But just let him know. Check him out on Only Talk Sports, where he talks sports every single day, or at least he tries to, on YouTube and on X. Give him a follow on @/Twitter. And with that being said, we wish you all a happy rest of your Saturday night. And to stay safe, stay warm. It's cold out. It's weird Alabama weather. And be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Click on the notification bell so you never miss no video whatsoever. And we will be seeing you real soon, Monday night. And roll Tide.